Hi, my name is Alexandra Hess, and in this presentation, I will be discussing the community demographics and the elementary school education in Sacramento, California. Why this specific demographic? I am hoping to become an elementary school teacher in Sacramento, California. I have been living in this area for many years now, and the city of Sacramento has become very near and dear to me, and so I'm very excited to be teaching in this specific area. I have chosen to become an elementary school teacher because I absolutely love working with children, and I think that it is so important to be preparing them for their future, and I just want to become a part of that process and their learning process. Their educational experience is very important, and I want to contribute to that. According to the U.S. Disability Statistics by State, County, City, and Age, an article by Disabled World, 10% of the population in the state of California has some form of disability. On a more specific location level, the city of Sacramento has a percentage of 11.8 persons with disabilities within the overall population of Sacramento. According to the Sacramento City Unified School District, the schools in the city of Sacramento are intentional about creating an inclusive environment for their students with disabilities. For many people throughout the United States, upward mobility is a major challenge to achieve. According to the statistics shared by Edward Rodriguez and Richard Reeves, California is actually one of the states that have an above average chance for people to move upward in their socioeconomic status. Why, though, is it that California has a high chance for upward mobility than other states throughout our country? Rodriguez and Reeves go on to explain that this is because larger cities in California, such as Sacramento, have been found to be in the middle of the Gini Inequality Index. According to Peter Westphal, the Gini Index is a measurement tool used to measure distribution of income within a certain population. The Gini Index is a good reference to use when trying to discover or find economic inequality and income distribution among certain populations. Through my research on the diversity of Sacramento, California, I discovered that Sacramento is considered one of the top most diverse cities in the United States, according to ABC 10 staff. Some of the most prominent cultures that are represented in the city of California include white, Asian, white Hispanic, African American, and Hispanic cultures. Another part of the diversity in Sacramento, California has to do with the variety of people who speak their native languages, ranging from Asian and Pacific Island languages to a large amount of native Spanish speakers. As I will likely be working with a significant amount of students who may speak other languages such as Spanish, I believe that this may cause potential challenges within the classroom. Another challenge that may be presented within a diverse classroom such as these would be understanding other students' traditional and cultural practices, beliefs, and values. Each culture celebrates their own holidays in ways that we may not understand completely, and students within the classrooms may not understand their celebrations as well. This is why I intend to inform my students of other cultures in general, in order that they will understand that there is nothing wrong with the way others celebrate. It may also be helpful to learn about different cultures and practices that differ from our own practices and cultures. Students that are in our country today, they're not exposed to other cultures very often, and so this is a great way to introduce them to different cultures, different cultural practices and beliefs, and it'll teach them to have a more open mind when it comes to the different cultures and different beliefs. COVID-19 has impacted the schooling system greatly. This year, students have been kept from attending school because of the rising numbers of cases that were growing daily. Keeping children at home for such a long period of time has been a debated topic, as many believe that it would be more ideal to open up schools and let children go back to school. As opening up schools completely was not an option for the state of California, the governor instead allowed there to be a soft opening of schools. This means that the students are able to learn both virtually and in person. Along with this reopening, there are several policies and guidelines in place that are meant to keep the students healthy and safe from the coronavirus. This may present a challenge as there are likely a number of parents who do not agree that their students have to wear a mask throughout their school day. They may also think that their child should be able to come to school every day instead of every other day. As students are returning to school from almost an entire year of virtual distance learning, they will be required to have vaccines to enter their schools. Though vaccines have always been a policy in schools, this year is very different because there will be fewer excuses that will be allowed for students who do not have vaccines prior to returning to school. Another debated policy in California education is the decision to introduce students from K through 12 to sex education. This is a new policy that has been debated because many parents believe that their children should not be introduced to such content at such young ages. This may present a challenge in my educational career as a teacher because I will need to decipher how to work with parents and families who do not agree with this policy. Fortunately, parents are able to excuse their own children from going through their new curriculum, but schools are still requiring all students to learn about gender, sexual orientation, and gender identity. It is important for me to consider this as a teacher because there may be parents who disagree with certain policies, and I will need to work with these parents and come up to a common agreement on how they want to go about this sort of policy or education. According to California Department of Education, the outbreak of COVID-19 and the decision to begin distance learning showed that there is a great number of students who do not have access to internet, computers, and/or Wi-Fi. The Department of Education also expresses that in order to care for the technology needs of all students, it would take up to $500 million to accomplish successfully. Improper funding is one of the many obstacles that exist for individuals who should have accessibility to assistive technology. According to Janet from the Assistive Technology Hub, other obstacles include poor management of funds, lack of proper knowledge, and lack of resources, and lack of family involvement. The COVID pandemic has especially impacted students who are deaf and blind. Assistive technologies have played a major role in their distance learning experience. One form of assistive technology that is used for students who are blind is a refreshable Braille keypad, which is very cool. This special keypad is hooked up to the student's computer, and a Braille version of what is said or written in the recording or in the video it appears on the pad in Braille so that the student can keep up with what is being communicated in the video or writing. For deaf students, teachers make sure that there are videos sent to them regularly, if not daily, rather than just providing them with written work, which is what Clark explains that most students who are not deaf or blind are provided with throughout their schooling and their distance learning. There is a number of programs and groups in the state of California that serve as advocates for the challenges that individuals with disabilities face regarding access to assistive technology. These groups work towards supporting individuals with disabilities by ensuring that they are able to access assistive technology when needed. Disability Rights California is an advocacy agency that provides advice to individuals with disabilities as they find what kinds of assistive technologies may be best for their situation. Agencies such as the Disability Rights California nonprofit agency mainly play the role of educating and fighting for people who could use assistive technology. This particular agency is located in many areas of the country, but the main office is located in Sacramento, California, the area that I intend to teach in. As for motivation and behavior, there are many programs within the city of California or the state of California that advocate for behavioral issues, and they are intentional about taking care of the needs of students who may have behavioral challenges. The Turning Winds Behavior Program is an adjustmental program located actually in Sacramento, California, and is intended for students and adolescents who are at high risk or who are working towards improving their behavioral challenges. This particular program is different from most behavioral programs in that the entire family is involved throughout the entire process, and the activities that take place throughout the program are taken place outdoors. This way, the students can learn through nature. Aside from the learning that is encouraged through this program, participants are also provided with therapy sessions, which are meant to help them continue growing continuously every day. This particular program relates to the motivation and behavior because it was created to motivate individuals to make positive changes and build stronger behavioral skills. The motivational theory that is used mainly in this program is the expectancy theory. According to Kendra Cherry, the expectancy theory suggests that individuals are more likely to become successful in certain areas if they believe that they are capable of doing so. When students participate in the Turning Winds program, they build the skills and confidence that are necessary to be successful in their future education and so forth. Finally, we will be discussing mediation and collaboration. In the educational environment, conflict is more than likely to take place, whether it is between students and teachers, teachers and parents, or the students' parentals in the school system. When a conflict arises, it is important for there to be some sort of mediation between the two parties that are in disagreement. In the state of California, there is a formal mediation that takes place when certain disagreements take place, especially in the special education environment. The first step in conflict resolution is to file a report and request for mediation to take place. The OAH, Office of Administrative Hearings, is responsible for coming up with a final resolution and is the mediator throughout the mediation process. If there is an agreement between the two parties, the Office of Administrative Hearings will close the case and make arrangements for the steps of resolution to take place. If there is no consensus or agreement reached, the OAH will then schedule another hearing to take place in order to come to an agreement. Thank you for listening to my presentation on the state of California, more specifically the city of Sacramento. I am very excited to be teaching